make it a few hours in advance. I made the coleslaw this morning about 3 or 4 hours ago. I did everything this morning. You want to do as much in advance as you can, but like the coleslaw, you don't want it to be mushy. I made a citrus coleslaw with mandarin oranges, pineapple, orange zest. It's going to be very good.
Yummy,
right.
yummy, yummy.
We've got this. For once, I'm not going to put my hand in there on live TV and cut my fingers.
No.
I'm going to actually take the blade out.
Good thinking.
This is
safety first.
Now.
Okay.
Now we get exciting, ladies. I have
We like exciting.
grilled pork jerk tenderloin in there.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
You're gonna make us sandwiches?
I'm gonna make you sandwiches.
We're spoiled. Yay.
Yes, you are. You know that. Okay. We're gonna get a little bit of this aioli.
Okay. Wow.
We're gonna slather that on there nice. We're gonna put a little on each side. Give it some good zip. We're gonna put a little pineapple on there.
Okay, typically, Holly, what do you eat at a tailgate party?
Woo!
Hot dogs. Hot dogs and hamburgers.
Hot dogs and hamburgers.
This is awesome.
This
Some
stuff
sun-dried tomatoes.
You can cook at, with your tiny little grill. We have the Big Daddy grill today.
Now, and also we're gonna put a little spray butter on either side here.
You're gonna grill this whole thing together.
I'm gonna grill the whole thing together until the cheese melts.
I can't even stand this.
You know what? Let's fold that over there.
Oh my goodness.
Throw that on the grill. I'm gonna make up a batch of these.
Oh my.
I have also made a bunch of other things that we're gonna walk through when we come back.
That's right.
I've made for the Bucks, in honor of the Bucks, Chucky Chili.
Chucky Chili.
Awesome.
You've heard of Chunky Soup? You've heard of Chunky Stew? This is Chucky Chili.
That's right.
I can't wait.
We are going to be doing more cooking, and we also have
The Bucks cheerleaders, Jim Lighthall.
Did you say Bucks cheerleaders?
I did.
Okay.
And we've got the John Kelly Band.
Let's hear 'em.
See you in a second.
Folded up, locked away what you're living in. Made out of bed, lay down and hide. In the shelter of your mind, you're gone again. And then the road, and you'll be fine.
Outside with our tailgating spectacular on Studio 10, I put Michelle to work making
Yum,
the
yum.
grilled pork jerk tenderloin sandwich. As a matter of fact, I'm going to flip this one. Holly is over here near the chili. What's going on,
Yeah,
Holly?
because I'm really concerned about this Chucky Chili. What goes into Chucky Chili?
Well, first of all, it's screaming hot.
Screaming hot.
Screaming hot.
That's
And it's
right,
got some.
'cause it screams on the sideline.
It's got bits of chunked up clipboards that he's broken. No, it's a.
That's what I was afraid of.
Well, first of all, I've used white and red kidney beans, so that
For the Bucks.
For the Bucks, and it
All right.
almost looks. It's got the color of a Bucks jersey.
It does a little bit.
In honor of Chucky, I've got some scallions. He's got.
Scallions.
Yes.
Wow.
To give it an extra little bit of a zip, little chipotle chili powder as well
Nice.
as the regular chili powder.
Because you want it to be screaming hot.
You want it to be screaming hot. Oh, and my secret ingredient, you don't have to mail away for this because any hot sauce will do, but as a Marine, Jarhead hot sauce.
Nice.
Very nice. It's got red peppers, a lot of red in it. Tomatoes, red peppers, red onions. I went with the red of the Bucks, and it's given it a really hearty, deep flavor.
I can't wait. Can I try it?
Absolutely.
Is it ready
you
to
can
try?
It's ready.
This is Michelle's style tailgate. Michelle, because this is what you would have been doing up north where it was
That's
cold.
right. We would be eating chili, which, I'm excited about football season here with
All
chili.
right, take that. Let me
I
get you a
love chili.
fork. You're doing a good
Okay,
job.
I'm over here.
You are working away. Here you go, Holly.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Oh, your sandwiches look good, Michelle.
Are you-
I am digging this. I think I'm gonna make
Aren't these
at
pretty? And this is
home.
very exciting. So these are
Absolutely.
cooking away over here.
Oh, man.
Yeah?
That's great.
Got a little something that's going to come back and get you at the end, too, by the way.
All right, and you've got some bratwurst
I'm from
going
Texas,
on over
too.
here too.
No,
I see.
I'm an
like,
expert.
heaven.
I consulted a friend from up north who's a brat expert, my friend Mark, another comedian who is a brat connoisseur, who said you cannot do a tailgate without brats,
You can't.
or I would be drawn and quartered.
Oh, yeah.
And he said you have to soak them in beer, which I've done, and onions, as a matter of fact. And he said, soak them for at least an hour. I started soaking them about midnight last night. Let them soak for most of the night, and then grilled them. He said the other key is not to over grill them. A lot of people overcook them thinking, oh, they're pork. These
Right.
have been grilled until they split. That's the key.
Did you punch holes in them to get the beer to seep in, or
I
do you
did
not have to?
He said that's a fallacy. He said, the casing will allow the beer in, especially if you soak them for long enough.
Well, beer has some acid in it, so that probably penetrates a little bit into the skin.
Well, that's another thing I put in the Chucky chili.
Uh-huh.
Bitterness. It needed some bitterness.
Some bitterness.
Bitterness.
And I
Very
want to tell you, Holly,
good.
the other thing,
Excellent.
give you some brats.
Oh
I'm
my
very
goodness.
excited about it. Give some Michelle something
Okay,
to eat.
I'll
Yeah.
try some.
Here you go,
I
Michelle.
am sitting here
Start with
staring at
this
this
sandwich.
fantastic
I'm just gonna eat this with my
coleslaw,
spoon.
too.
This is a citrus coleslaw.
my goodness.
Very fresh, very exciting. It's got cabbage in it like normal. It's got a little julienne jicama. It's got a little carrots in it. Mandarin oranges, pineapple, some orange zest, red wine vinegar, and again, we went back to the Smart Balance for a low-fat, low cholesterol alternative. Let's give you some of this.
That is wonderful. And
Little
these-
celery seed, and here's another Buck's touch. It's got celery seed, and in honor of Jeff Garcia, some salt and pepper like in his hair.
Oh.
If you're there, man, hey, I'm feeling you. It's nice to have a quarterback my age.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
is so
say,
nice to see a guy
same
drop
age.
into the pocket that, probably is wearing high pants. So,
Yeah, what I want to ask, though, okay, obviously there's a lot of preparation that has gone into
Right,
this.
right.
What are some tips, though, on bringing your food on the road, so to speak? I mean, you really got to be careful about letting food sit out for a long time.
a lot of people don't realize as soon as something starts to achieve room temperature, that's when it starts to spoil on you. That's when the germs start to infiltrate your life.
Oh, no.
So the longer it stays out, and you got to be cognizant of things like of creams, mayonnaise, and other things.
Mayonnaise.
Salt and
Right.
pepper is only so much of a preservative.
Right.
So you want to keep things like, when I brought some of this in this morning, I started cooking at about 5:30, so it really only took a couple hours, about an hour and a half to do everything.
Really? An hour and a half to do all of
Wow.
that?
Everything, including the
even believe
chopping
it.
and the prep. The pork tenderloin went in at about 5:45, was out by 6:25, on the grill for a couple minutes. You want to get as much done as you can in advance. Try
Right.
that coleslaw. Holly
That's
hasn't
what I
had
really,
it yet.
really
I
want.
have, yes,
Have
I
ya?
have. This is my favorite coleslaw I've ever eaten. I'm not joking about that at
And
all.
we're going to grill these up. We're going to spray these. Just get everything sliced up. Get as much you can done in advance, and then make sure it stays on ice.
Right. That's the key, I think, as well. And also, I have to, comment about these portobello mushrooms.
Because you can vegetarian up anything, can't you?
Yeah.
You can, and that's what I did. A Porto cap, when it's grilled right, you want to grab those off the thing. A grilled Porto cap will taste like a piece of steak. It really will. And these are so hearty. Grab one of those.
Yes, I want one.
The other thing about grilling out is you want things a lot of times either you've got the utensils for or things you can just pick up and run with.
Right. You
Right.
want some finger foods, too.
And Portos, that's such a finger food. All I
Yeah.
did was rub it in a little olive oil and throw it on the grill for a few minutes. And then just dice it up.
And it's delicious.
And they're just
I would
delicious.
eat that
Try
over
a
meat
little knife.
anytime.
Okay.
These are fantastic.
so
Okay.
good.
So we've got this half of the sandwich, your very exciting
Oh my
sandwich
gosh.
halves. I'm not going to leave you down.
This is the best
much
tailgate ever. I'm going to be so stuffed in 7 minutes.
And that's the thing is you don't have to skimp on the tailgate. It doesn't have to be hot dogs and hamburgers. People are going wild with this stuff.
Okay, my mouth is full.
I
And the
know.
Chuck E. Chili. See, this is great for me.
All
I
right.
can talk. You girls eat.
And then I want to talk about the jerk pork
Right.
that you did.
Yes.
You made it
That's
ahead of
one
time.
that we didn't talk about how you made that because it's
Right.
fantastic.
Yes, I did. Well, this jerk pork tenderloin, it's actually, it's very easy to do. There's a few different ways. Sometimes I like to get the jerk seasoning. You can either make the jerk seasoning with allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon, red pepper, salt, pepper. That's an undertaking.
Or you can do it the easy way.
There are so many easy, great ways to do this. And that's, I'm all about the easy way if I can.
Right.
You get the jerk seasoning. I like to add some olive oil and a little soy sauce. Shake it up ahead of time and put it in a bag. I used a 1-gallon Ziploc bag and left it in there overnight. You don't want to over marinate things because, again, as soon as salt hits meat, it starts to cook.
Right.
Huh.
So you've only got a few hours on fish, a few more hours on chicken, and beef and pork maybe overnight to a day and a half before it starts to naturally spoil.
See, I had no idea.
So obviously, though, if you put this on the grill, you have to be careful when you marinate it. Though.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are your suggestions then? You do this at home in the oven, or if you decide to do it on the grill, lower temperature?
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, because there's a lot of sugar in this, in the marinades generally, and especially if you're using soy sauce. You're going to want to, I cooked it for 425 for about 35-40 minutes in advance, and then kept it warm on the way here, and just threw it, wrapped it up right away to keep the juices in it too. And then threw it on the grill for a few minutes to get not only grill marks on it, because people
kind
are
of sear it a little bit on the outside.
sear it and get that heartier grill flavor.
Yeah.
And
That's what's so good about a tailgate is that hearty grill flavor.
I want to mention grilling wise too. So many people, especially in the South, they let their grill cake up. Because that's where the flavor is. It's in the grill stuff that's been juicing up since the last Texas OU game. That's carbon. That's called cancer. Clean it off. Scrape it with your
all
brush.
right.
Throw a little oil on a towel and scrape it off.
Lots of good tips.
So good, and I
Yep.
just want to eat. So
You girls
That's
eat.
right.
let's
that's
take
right.
2 minutes to go to break and eat.
Okay, you eat. I can't wait.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
I got a message from my hero.
Kitchen with Tim as he features his latest tongue-twisting yet healthy recipe. What do you have for us today, Tim? You gonna make me say it?
Yes, I am. What am I making, Holly?
Spicy, skimpy, scampi.
Ding, 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 ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding.
Congratulations. That was much better than when you had to say turkey taco
I did have to practice that. It was gonna be super snazzy, scampi.
No, no. You did
Okay.
a great job.
So let's get started. What are we doing here?
Right now I am melting a little, some shallots. I'm going to put in
Okay.
some garlic as well. I'm melting the shallots in some Smart Balance light buttery spread as well as
Okay.
some Smart Balance oil.
And we're working with shrimp today, and I've heard this said before that you want to get the number on the shrimp. So what is the number?
Well, you'll see a number in a recipe where they'll say, we want you to use 1 pound of 21-25 shrimp.
What does that mean?
Which means there will be approximately 21 to 25 shrimp in 1 pound, which means that they'll have to be larger or smaller to accommodate that number.
Okay.
And those will be the ideal size for whatever recipe.
Okay.
Next, they want you to peel and devein them.
Yeah, how hard is that? Because they're so small to work with.
You know, actually, these are a little larger, and it's very simple. You want to peel them. I like to grab the tail. They say to use the tails. The tails add a lot of flavor to things.
Okay.
Actually, I save my tails later to put in broth if I'm going to make like a seafood bisque.
How about that?
I put them in the freezer and save them until whenever I need to thaw them out.
Cool.
Okay, I grab the tail in a pinch and pull, and the shell comes right off.
Okay.
They want you to devein them. That's this black vein running through here.
Okay,
that's
that's
not a
the
vein,
only
but
vein?
yes, that's the only vein, and you just get that out with your fingers and wash it underwater. This is not a vein.
What
that's,
is it?
That's their intestinal system.
Oh.
You want to get that out.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah, so you just pull and off you go. So it's very simple.
Would
the next
you
thing I did while this is melting over here.
Should I stir this around a little?
Yeah, sure, you're doing a good job. Yeah, stir it with
I
that
don't
spoon.
have a spoon.
Okay, there you go.
So wait, do you like frozen or fresh best? I mean, that seems like a stupid question. to
Well,
me.
here's what I like. Shrimp, depending on their price, you can get the same thing frozen for a lot less.
So you like frozen?
I do.
See, I like frozen too because it's easier and it doesn't cost as much
To
mostly.
spice this up a little bit, I put a little Creole seasoning on there. I coated it in some Smart Balance oil to get it to adhere as well. Some crushed red pepper flakes. A little chili powder.
Hence the spicy.
Oh yeah, and it's got to get a little zip here. And we're taking some of what your body craves, which is fat, out of it and putting some healthy flavors in with the Smart Balance.
I love how you do that.
And a little chipotle there. And then I'm going to give it a chef's flip to coat it. Little chefy flip. I'm learning all this by watching TV.
You could just roll it around with your hands though if you're not a chef, huh?
No, you got to. This is part of the whole process. This is on the recipe, chef's
Okay,
flip.
sorry.
There's that. How's that coming over there?
I'm good, I think.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
All right. The next thing we're going to do is we don't want to cook these too much. The shallots are just starting to get transparent,
Right.
translucent. They're starting to get a little clearer.
And garlic will burn eventually
Garlic,
too, won't it?
they'll both burn, and the butter will turn a little brown on you.
Oh.
So now we're going to throw our shrimp in there and let those heat up for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to flip them over. You want those to be not overcooked. Shrimp overcook quickly. They get leathery. They get mushy.
But you want them to be pink, right?
You do want them to be pink. That's how you know they're cooked.
Oh.
But as they just start to pink, that's where we're going to put our other ingredients in. And the thing about these other ingredients, they're fresh. You put fresh ingredients in, as opposed to where I put these spices in, the dried spices in a little earlier.
Uh-huh.
The fresh ingredients have so much more flavor and natural oils and citric acids and things that it makes it pop a little bit more.
When you use the dried stuff though, especially with herbs, you want to use less, right?
Well, there is
Or
a
is it
ratio.
overpowering?
It's actually a little bit more to offset because the
Is that right?
overpowering. Yeah. I'm going to use some fresh parsley here in a minute as well. Do you know how to cut herbs?
I can certainly try.
No, I'm going to do it for you.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you an easy way to get these to cut. Fold them over, and fold them over yet again. We're going to do a chef's cut, which is called a chiffonade.
Ah, do you want the stems?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
I'm not going to use a whole lot of the stem, but the stem has a lot of flavor in it as well.
Really?
So many people throw that away. This is going to come out chiffonade, or chiffonade, I'm sorry, the French term for like rags. It's a real loose cut. I'm going to take one more pass through over here. I'm going to scoot those in over there.
I love how you can keep it from all just going everywhere. Mine go everywhere when I'm chopping herbs.
I am in control of the herbs. At all times in control
You
of
are.
the herbs. So, those
Okay.
are doing wonderfully. They're starting to pink up a little bit. That one's going pink on you. You got about 1 more minute.
Do I have to flip them or anything, or just leave them be?
We'll flip them in a minute. Matter
Okay.
of fact, when they start to pink up like this one, we'll give it a little flip. And then we're going to put in our other spices as well. We're going to put in a little lemon zest. We'll put that in there, sprinkle that over the top. That's going to make that pop and be very lemony. We're also going to put in some fresh lemon juice here very shortly.
Oh, man, I can already smell that.
smell that?
That's great.
And another thing we're going to put in a little bit more Smart Balance of the buttery spread and a little bit more of the oil because
Okay.
we want it to coat in with our pasta.
Okay.
Give you some tips for pasta. So many people think they have a way to cook pasta or that there's a steadfast rule. There are some rules. Don't overcook.
Remember that when you cook things, they continue to cook for a while after.